Hello, my name is Melissa Joy Quintanilla, and I'm going to discuss a few questions for our end of the course program. So here we go. The first question is briefly describe your leadership style and approach and three management skills you feel are your strengths. I feel comfortable saying that my leadership style is that of a transformational leader. Transformational leaders have high integrity and they motivate people with a shared vision of the future and they communicate well. Transformational leaders inspire their team members because they expect the best of each and every one of them and they hold themselves accountable for their actions. We set clear goals, clear objectives to ultimately help with high performance and high engagement and high productivity. I understand that there's not a one size fits all for leaders, so I find myself adapting to situations easily. I've learned a lot about different types of leadership styles, so I think that's helped me be able to get or find a little bit of this approach and that approach and kind of mold it and fix it to what's going to best fit that situation. And ultimately, I think all leaders need to be aware and be able to do that because being flexible and being able to adapt to whatever setting is very important. Three of my skills that I feel about are my strengths are adaptability. Again, like I said before, being flexible, being able to change your approach to fit whatever situation or setting you're in. Conflict resolution, absolutely. You identify the problem and you present three solutions and find your best one, and hopefully that will fix the problem. And my last one is team building. I truly enjoy working with coworkers, working with my staff, working with members to be able to find a project, something that can help, or programs, whichever it is, to build team building projects. And kind of the same with the conflict resolution, just be able to, as a team, think of a solution to, excuse me, to whatever the problems may be. So I think those are three of my strengths that I have. The second question is identify one area of management, excuse me, or leadership that you feel requires further development and how you intend to improve it. So what I learned or during the course, what I've learned about when I learned about performance enhancement and performance initiatives and motivation is I found that reading this to be extremely helpful, not only about ways to improve job performance, but job satisfaction. I mean, we live in a society that is beyond overwhelmed, beyond stressed and burnout, and I think it's imperative for managers and supervisors to see those signs of being burnt, being stressed out, being burnt out, being beyond overwhelmed, to be able to identify them early before they become chronic problems. And aside from that, or in addition to that, managers need to be able to identify when employees are jaded with their job duties and roles and responsibilities and find ways to motivate them and to challenge them and to keep them engaged in what they're doing to ultimately have high productivity and them enjoy their role, what they're doing in their office or program or wherever it is that they are. I mean, we need to be able to challenge employees to make them feel deserved and wanted, and therefore we'll have high productivity. I know that there's plenty of research about um, identifying stress and chronic stress and I guess in your office setting, but I don't think managers or companies or businesses utilize them as much as they should. I mean, if I were in this situation, my approach to these areas would be first and foremost to have several meetings about the negative and adverse effects of chronic stress levels and being overwhelmed for a long period of time. And I know deadlines are usually the ones that cause all these additional stress factors. So, explaining that deadlines are not to be completed, a day or 2 days before, that there needs to be a time frame or an outline that if you have a deadline, these are certain, areas that you need to mark before so you can make sure you're in range and not, overwhelming and stressing yourself out. And another thing is to emphasize the importance of asking for help. I think a lot of people are afraid or do not want to ask for help when it comes to deadlines and projects, and that's really the wrong idea or the wrong mentality to have. I think asking your manager or your coworkers for help is something that I want to emphasize with my staff and my employees. It's okay to need help. I mean, it really is. It's rather ask for help and have a successful outcome than to be beyond stressed and overwhelmed and have a poor outcome of your project. So, and job performance and satisfaction is another thing that I will target with these areas of, are my employees or my staff happy with what they're doing? How can I improve that? What should we change? What do they need in order to have higher job satisfaction and productivity? And I will be there to answer all those questions if they have any for me. Our last question is to finally describe one or two concepts and skills you've gained from this course that has helped you develop professionally as a health educator. Without question, learning about grant writing and everything that goes into grant proposal has helped me tremendously. Beginning with the proposal development and the different types of proposals. There's research, there's program, there's solicited, there's unsolicited. I mean, just learning about those four and how they're different and what would each go to basically. The other is learning about the elements, the grant proposal elements, and knowing how to incorporate them or format a grant application and what needs to what needs to be included in there, what to emphasize with, and kind of what to avoid, which is just jargon that you don't want. The elements such as letter of transmittal, table of contents, introduction, target group, budget, matching funds. I mean, these are just some of the elements that go in there. I mean, budgeting skills absolutely is one of the most important factors in order to have a successful organization, department, or plan. With grant writing, as a health educator, I feel that, or I think it's necessary to be able to write grant proposals and encourage the support of others to help you and to help prepare an application that clearly states a problem, defines the program, the proposed program, explains the expected accomplishments, and clearly outlines a budget. It's important to be able to explain whatever funds you're getting and using how they will be beneficial to the other overall program. Other than that, I truly have enjoyed this course. I've learned a great deal of information, and between the organizational dynamics to the leading management of the future, I trust the information I've gained will help me be a better educator and a resource person. Thank you very much.